New Zealand Post did talk to us. The SOE confirmed their drivers don't receive paid annual leave or sick pay. They were unable to tell us what their guaranteed bottom rates were, but they were adamant they are independent contractors. That interview was 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's available online. But we keep hearing from drivers across the courier spectrum who say we aren't independent as we understand that word. Now remember, the law that's about to be tested in court says it's the real nature of the work that determines true independence, not what contracts say. Today we heard from another Courier Post driver, that's a New Zealand Post company, who said he's been told to buy a new scanner at his own expense, and that the scanner he bought, also at his own expense just 2 years ago, is being phased out.
They have been told us like 4 months ago to buy a new scanners, which is T56 or T55. The scanners at the moment we are using now, like I bought the scanner 2 years ago. I spent like $2,500 or $3,000 on it. And then after 2 years, they are saying there have been operational system has been changed. Now we have to buy the new scanners. That means we have to spend another $2,500 on the scanner. In 2 years, I'm spending $5,000 just on the scanners.
$5,000 in 2 years?
Yeah. So they didn't ask any of the courier that we are agree on that or not. They just give us the notice about the new scanners, just buy the new scanners. And we have to buy the scanners by end of October. Like, the new scanners should be in our hand before the busy period starts.
Okay, so you spent $2,500 on a scanner when you started about 2 years ago. You are being compelled, you are being told you have to spend another $2,500 on a new scanner, which means $5,000 on scanners for the company and for you as an owner-operator driver in 2 years. Can you afford that?
No, I can't. I can't spend that much altogether.
And also, did you have to buy a van when you became a driver for Courier Post?
Yes, I did.
And how much did you spend on your van?
I spent $30,000 on it.
And you had to buy a uniform?
Yes, I did. I bought the uniform, bought the new scanner, got my van painted, done the decals of the van. I have to pay for everything. They didn't pay anything for it.
Roughly, how much did you spend putting your van on the road?
You can say about $45,000.
And what are you earning a week, roughly, after costs?
After cost, you can say $700 or $800.
And how many hours a week are you working?
I work 13 hours a day, 12 to 13 hours a day.
How many days a week?
5 days a week.
So if you're working 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 60 hours. You're earning roughly $700 after costs. So you're earning roughly $12 an hour, which is considerably lower than the minimum wage.
Yes, it is. I'm already thinking about to leave the courier now.
But you've spent roughly $45,000 becoming a courier.
Yeah, but like it's not even worth for me now.
And you have to come up with another $2,500 roughly to buy a new scanner to replace the one that you bought only 2 years ago.
Yes, like the other older scanner will be going into the rubbish. There's like nothing useful of it now.
So will you be able to do that? Will you be able to find the money to do that?
For the new scanner?
Yeah.
I don't have enough money to pay the scanner for like one time. If I go for the scanner, I have to buy it on a lease. I have to pay monthly for it. I can't afford like $25,000 once.
$2,500, $2,500.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
I just need to buy it on a lease because we asked them before, like, why not we can use our scanners, which I bought like 2 years ago. And they said the operation system has been changed and you can't use that. That will not be supported into the system.
So they changed they changed the operating system, compelling you to buy a new scanner.
Yes, that's right.
Do you get annual leave?
No, we don't.
Do you get sick pay?
No, we don't.
When did you last have a holiday?
Here in January when I went to my country.
And who did your driving for you when you were away?
oh, there's a shit thing ever happened with me as well. They say we can hire our own drivers. And then when it comes to me to hire my own driver, they choose the driver for me. They said the company driver will work for me. They didn't let me choose my driver. They forced me to use the company driver.
But you're meant to be an independent contractor, aren't you?
Yeah, I told them, but they said you can't use your own driver. You have to use our driver.
Wait a sec. Are you an independent contractor? Is that what they call you? Do they call you a business partner or an independent contractor?
They call us independent contractors here.
But they told you had to use a driver assigned by them when you were away having a holiday. Did you have to pay for that driver they assigned?
Yes, I do. So like I pay $20 an hour plus GST. So it comes 12 hours a day or $300 a day. Almost you can say my whole day pay is gone.
So you paid, wait a sec, you paid the driver. Courier Post made you paid that driver more than you earn.
Yes.
We've just received a statement from New Zealand Post. It says it partners with independent contractors. That was the same language they used in their interview with us 3 or 4 weeks back, who are self-employed and operate their own businesses. It says it has procurement functions, so it makes sure its partners get the best terms for the items they need. NZ Post says the cost of the Zebra TC56 recommended scanner is $1,900. NZ Post says it provides 5 gig of free data for reasonable personal use. NZ Post says its business partners are responsible for supplying a fully trained relief driver at any time they choose to not to operate their run themselves. New Zealand Post would intervene in the choice of relief driver if the chosen relief driver was found to be incapable of performing the tasks to the required standard. That from a statement in from New Zealand Post by email a short time ago.